This is Brian Carlton for ABN Newswire. I'm at the November Symposium Resources Roadshow from Westpac HQ in Sydney, where companies operating in the resources sector take the opportunity to pitch their wares at potential investors. One man with a deserved reputation for rewriting the rules of what can be mined and from where, as the founder of undersea miner Nautilus Minerals, and literally rewriting the rules as to how the resources industry communicates. It's always a pleasure talking to Julian Malnic, now the executive chairman and founder of Direct Nickel, a company he believes can become the largest nickel company on earth. Welcome again to ABN Newswire, Julian.
Oh, thank you, Brian.
It's a big claim, but I know you're dead serious.
Well, we are very keen, I guess, as always. We're innovators. We like to lead the world. I wonder what gets into us sometimes, but we are, I think, again, positioning to make more history. This time we'd like to rewrite the way nickel is produced, and we're very advanced in a new process, hydrometallurgical process.
Which we're going to talk about now. Quick backgrounder. We're running out of the scarcer but till now cheaper to process nickel sulphides.
Yep,
right.
Correct.
Okay, but we're awash with nickel laterite reserves that haven't really been economically viable again until now. Is that a fair assessment?
Well, any observer of the global nickel space would know that there have been firstly, as you say, sulphides are diminishing in discovery. We've got 120 years of supply in the laterite style of resource. It's a very shallow, flat lying type of deposit. We often find it entirely find it in the tropical, well-watered topographies. And yes, we have 120 years supply, and all of the metallurgies till now have been challenged. They've been niche metallurgical processes, I should say, correct English. And ours is now the first universal process. We're in a demonstration stage now. Yes, we face a lot of scepticism because it is a big claim, but we're now really embracing that.
I like big claims. Big claims give you something to look forward to. Now, nickel's primarily, for the uninitiated, used in the production of stainless steel, which is in huge demand and growing.
Yes, China consumes half of the world's nickel, most of that into stainless steel. So
we're talking kitchen sinks and laundry tubs.
That's it.
Motor vehicles.
You've probably seen the modern wineries have large stainless vats, petroleum refineries, the white goods, as you say, are big consumers, and it is really and architecture is also, the civic jewellery of Asia, handrails, building facades, etc.
Okay. So, yeah. Now, Direct Nickel's come up with a cost-effective and really efficient way of processing nickel laterites. Low temperature, ambient pressure, almost magic.
I guess part of the difficulty in, as I said, people are rightfully sceptical of the new, and nowhere more than in the mining sector. But if you were to go through and tick go down the list and tick all the dream properties, they are the properties that our process has. So it's very fast, hydrometallurgical process, tank leaches, does the whole nickel laterite profile. There are two layers characteristically iron and magnesium rich, limonite saprolite, does the whole profile, and we recycle the reagent. And there's a list of points that are all ticked.
So how did you stumble across this technology? Is that the correct term? Stumbling across it? No. Did you go out and see? Did you realise it was there, or what was the light bulb?
We have worked very hard. We identified some precursor processes. We've spent $14 million over the last 3 years stumbling across it, and we've taken some precursor processes that we used in the chemical processing industry in the United States, and we took those precursor processes and developed the direct nickel process. There had been some early pilot work done in nickel, but we've completely translated that into a new process, and we're now absolutely confident that we have a robust and elegant chemical process, and we're now in the demonstration stage so that we can build a plant that people can walk around and physically see this continuous process producing nickel.
Whereabouts is the test plant?
We have been, one of our shareholders is Teck Resources, the major Canadian miner, and we have been discussing with Teck for a long time the building of a plant at their facility in Vancouver. But we've now taken a decision to build it in Perth, and the CSIRO has invested just around $2 million towards that plant. And
now that's not a grant, that's an investment in the company.
Yeah, and I think that...
it's an important distinction, isn't it, really?
Well, I kind of think so. I mean, it means that they've looked over us with a normal degree of care, but they're also chained to that relationship and very happy to be so. I think it is. I feel better that it's a investment and not corporate welfare, if you like.
Yeah, indeed. Now, you explained last we spoke that you're not really interested in simply licensing the technology and kind of moving to Bermuda to sit under a tree. So you're actively sourcing resource partners. You're getting involved in actually digging the stuff out of the ground and processing it with existing players, new players, greenfields.
Yeah, we're a nickel company. We've always positioned ourselves as a nickel company, and to that extent, you did right. We want to dig holes, process, and make the world's lowest cost nickel, both lowest capex and lowest opex nickel. So we're announcing today that we are now kicking off a 50-50 joint venture we've had on foot for a year with a AIM-listed company, Regency Mines. And the project area is in Papua New Guinea, project name Mambari.
Now you've got some experience there, haven't you, with Nautilus?
Yeah,
operating in PNG.
Nautilus has been the largest explorer in Papua New Guinea for several years, I believe. It's certainly well recognised for its major discovery.
So what are the benefits of the Regency deal for you?
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's sort of two-sided. Firstly, we're kicking off and going in to start drilling immediately, so forthwith, weather permitting. And then the other part is Regency is investing $6 million into a current placement that we have, which really will accelerate the demonstration and is a great vote of confidence in the market perception of our state of development of our process.
So part of the benefit, I would imagine, for companies who will get into some sort of joint venture with you or some kind of partnership is it would inherently increase the value of their company if they're sitting on laterite reserves that were hitherto unusable or expensive to get out and process. Is there a benefit there where you're seeing literally the value of their companies rising as well based on the direct nickel technology?
That is actually a very interesting question, because unless companies have an arrangement with us and we allow us to share in the resource with them, because we're a nickel company, as I said, unless we're in partnership with them, they won't have access to this process, which is IP protected and patented and
very secret.
Yeah, no, well, it has a lot of aspects that take a lot of know-how, and it's so we've got a very good IP strategy, and we want to translate that into a big advantage and get ahead and stay ahead.
Would that require the Regency deal require the construction of a commercial size plant?
Yeah.
Well, in PNG?
I mean, we explore to mine.
Yep.
And the eventual outcome is that we would drill out a large-scale resource, and we have every indication that the Mambari nickel project resource, certainly from early pitting and drilling work, could easily be a world-class deposit, so may contain 5 million tonnes of contained metal. So it's
wow, okay. So what about the setup costs of the actual plant? Is it a relatively cheap thing to build?
Nothing's cheap in mining, Brian, but
compared to some of the alternative technologies.
I take your point. We always take a breath before we mention capital figures in the mining business, but compared to the other processes, for example, pressure acid leach, which was the process used at Ravensthorpe, and ferronickel smelting, we're looking at a capital cost per unit of annual production, so per pound of annual production, of below half. I mean, essentially ours is welding rod construction, so no furnaces, no autoclaves, no titanium, unobtainium, all these exotic metals. We're in a 304 stainless steel construction and welding rod, so it's a fairly straightforward construction proposition.
You'd be looking at an IPO at some stage? How far away?
Well, actually, we have been. We've been also been looking at a Hong Kong shell recently.
Okay.
So we're fairly open-minded. We certainly see there's a great synergy with China. China's consuming half of the global nickel, and there's certainly a depth of investment interest in China. So ASX, Hong Kong Stock Exchange, we're still private. We've hung on, and so I think that both of them are good answers.
So your big Regency announcement obviously increases the value of direct nickel. What's it valued at today?
Well, what the agreed value, what it's really valued at, we have no idea.
Right.
What's a process worth that changes the entire nickel business? For the purpose of this transaction, it values us at 75 million US, and we would, which is the same as the CSIRO investment was made at. So I don't think it's an inflated price. It was well struck. And but now in the demonstration stage, I think this is the time for the big uplift.
Are you getting any nervous feedback from the nickel sulphide guys who are suddenly realising that maybe their business is not quite as valuable as it once was?
They're a fairly resolute mob, Brian. It takes a bit to wake them up, but the realisation will come. I don't think anyone's shaking in their boots at the moment, but
wait for it.
Wait for it. I think I see no reason why. I've said it before. Why we shouldn't be the large, with an advantage as we have. Why we shouldn't be the world's largest nickel company. So,
Julian Malnic, founder, executive chairman of Direct Nickel. Thanks so much for joining me again today.
Great. Right? Thank you.
This is Brian Carlton for ABN Newswire.